Hello everybody, Raven Knight here. This video is not prompted, it is not scripted, I am speaking to you from the heart, and I wanted to get this out there, because I have a few things that I want to say, a couple of announcements, and some things I want to clarify. I'll make this as quick as possible. First of all, as of today, we are officially done with the summertime experiment that I told you guys back at the beginning of the summer, back just a little before June. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, allow me to explain. When the summer months came around, substitute teaching and teaching, which I had been doing, was going to end because it was summer vacation. I had some options before me in terms of what I could do over the summer to make money, but I decided to try a little experiment instead. I decided instead of getting a summer job, I would spend all summer working to make content and stream on YouTube and Twitch because I wanted to see two things. How profitable could I be going full-time on YouTube and Twitch, and could I endure the stress of doing YouTube and Twitch full-time? Because if I'm able to make a pretty decent profit doing it full-time, maybe that could be something I do full-time in the future. More than anything, it was a way to experiment, see how my audience liked it, see how I liked it, and see if it was a feasible option for me sometime in the future. And now that we are officially done with that and school is going to be starting up in a few days and I'll be going right back to the classroom, I wanted to talk a little bit about what happened. So I want to say the goods first. The goods are definitely incredible. I grew exponentially, gaining easily over 1,200 subscribers over the course of the last 2 months, and I made over $3,500 in total just from YouTube alone. That's not including from Patreon, from Twitch, or from the Teespring store. So I just want to say thank you all from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. Even if I'd only made $10 over the last 2 months, it means the world to me that I have a community as awesome as you guys. And I don't say this lightly. I could not do this channel without you guys. I really could not do it. You guys are incredible. You've helped boost my confidence in myself and in this channel, and despite going through some really rough patches the last few weeks, especially the last few weeks, I want to tell you guys that I am so proud of you guys, proud of this channel, and proud of what we've been able to accomplish. So thank you all so very much. I also want to say that it did open my eyes to a few other things about the potential behind this YouTube career of mine, what all I could do with it, some new opportunities. I'm even in talks with some other content creators right now about some new stuff I could try or some things to expand or improve the channel. So absolutely, this channel is only going to grow and get better in the future. Now, with that said, there are some negatives. And the biggest one being, I learned that the stress of doing this is a little higher than I might be able to deal with right now. A lot of that is due to some external factors that have been going on in my personal life, like in terms of figuring out my career path, dealing with some issues with my friends and family and all that kind of stuff. There's just been a lot that went on these last few weeks, and especially the last 2 months of the summer. Y'all may know that in June, my PC crashed and I had to buy a new one, which cut into the profits that I'd made, and that was a real bummer. But now I have a working PC, so that is excellent, and I'm actually able to produce content again in a very fast and meaningful way, so that is awesome. But there were a lot of stresses. There was this kind of underlying reality that I wasn't just making content for fun anymore. It was a job. I had to make sure that I was making some kind of profit. And I think that kind of hurt the process a little bit. When you treat what should be a fun and entertaining pastime as something that you have to do in order to make money, it can wear at you. It can tear you down. It turns your fun pastime into something that almost feels like a slog. And it made me for a while want to step back. I almost felt like I wanted a vacation from the very thing that I used as my leisurely pastime. If that isn't one of the weirdest statements I've ever heard, I want a vacation from fun. But that's how I honestly felt. There were moments where I felt like I just can't keep doing this. I'm overstressing myself. I'm overworking myself. This is not fun anymore. I was getting very pessimistic, very angry, very frustrated with a lot of what was going on, be it from external factors or from just the constant stresses of trying to make this experiment work. I was putting a lot on myself. So honestly, here's the way I see it. This is a fun thing that I could do probably over the summers for the next few years, like when summer break rolls around and I have the free time. It could be nice to just sit down and do nothing but content creation. I think this is a feasible way to do a summer job. But I don't think I'm ready yet, or I don't know if ever, to turn this into a full-time thing, where I just drop all my other jobs and responsibilities and become a full-time YouTube content creator. Maybe when I am able to better understand what I want to do with the channel, maybe when things are more laid back, maybe when I have a more steady gross income from the channel, then maybe we could reapproach this. But as it stands right now, the findings of the experiment are it's a lot of fun. I can do a lot of cool things, and I discovered some awesome ideas for what I could do with the channel, but the stresses were high. I had a lot of stuff on my mind and on my heart that really held me up, and I just don't think I'm ready to commit to that full-time just yet. Something I can do over the summers? Absolutely. But full-time YouTube will just have to wait. But I think this experiment was worth it because, again, great profit over the summer, but also because it gave me the opportunity to really understand what I could do, which is why I'm leading into my next announcement. I am giving heavy consideration to starting an online ministry. Now, what does that mean? I don't know yet. Some of you may know by now that I am heavily considering going into seminary school, which would basically be training for me as a minister. And I do feel like that is something God has called me to do. And I also think that this YouTube career of mine has helped prep me for that a little bit. There are lots of people who use online mediums to witness to people. Like if you look at Wise Disciple, hosted by Nate Sala, who's a great example. I think that he's a fantastic example of kind of what I'd love to do. I'd love to be able to do that. I don't know the steps to do that. I don't know where it would start, which is why I'm considering seminary school, because that may give me the tools and training to know where to start. But I would not have made that discovery or had that thought without actually trying this experiment and realizing that I could turn online platforms and media into a career. So that is something that I am currently exploring. I don't know what will come of it. I don't know how long it will take for something to come of it, but it is something that I am considering and pursuing. So that is something that I'm going to be working on in the coming future. I also want to make the announcement that I am, as of the start of the school year, returning to substitute teaching, tutoring, and just overall standing in teaching, as it were. I will not go back to Longhorns. I'm not going to go into the details right now, but my boss and friend who worked there was fired. We were hoping he wouldn't be, but he was. And so with him gone, I have no reason to return. I have a lot of resentment for that restaurant right now, so I will not be returning to them. And I also plan to focus highly on furthering my education, furthering the education of others, and just putting myself in a classroom where I can help teach. The other nice thing is, as a substitute teacher, it means that I have more time to write, because quite often what happens is, as a substitute, I have to give the students assignments and they do it independently, which means I have time to write at my desk. So that means more writing from me, more legends, more scripts, more stories. That'll be a nice boon, and I'll be able to do something that I haven't been able to do much since starting the experiment. Isn't that kind of weird too? I had this whole summer, but because I was treating the YouTube thing as a job, I barely had time to write, which is what I love doing. So it's like, I'd love to sit down and write stories, but I got videos to make. I got streams to prepare for. It's like the things I enjoy are cutting into the things I enjoy. It's a very weird paradox. But I've gone into that enough. So what I really want to wrap up on is this. I want to first of all thank, again, all of you for supporting me over the last 2 months. It means so much to me. And I know a lot of content creators say this, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I could not do any of this without you guys. It means so much to me that you all have supported me so much. And if you want to keep supporting me, you can keep watching the videos, following me on streams. I do stream on Twitch and YouTube on occasion. You can go to my Patreon. You can check out my Teespring store. We have some awesome merch for you guys. You can continue donating however you feel like. Would love to continue getting that support, but just more than anything, thank you for the support you have given me this summer. I also want to apologize because, like I said, over the last several weeks, a lot of stuff has changed in my life. A lot of stresses have hit me, and I have come off sometimes very angry and needlessly frustrated, and I want to apologize to all of you who I may have offended or upset because of them. I think it's important to be open and upfront about how you feel and about what's going on in your life rather than bottle it up, because that only makes things worse. But there's a right and a wrong way to handle stress and a right and a wrong way to release feelings, and there have been times I have overstepped boundaries and said things in the heat of the moment that I shouldn't have said. I'm trying to watch my swearing, I'm trying to watch my anger, I'm trying to watch my frustrations. It's something that I constantly have to work on, and it's something that my brother and my family hold me accountable for quite often. So I want to apologize over the course of the summer if I did anything inappropriate or said anything wrong. So that I want to go ahead and say right off the bat. Finally, I will wrap up on this. The last few days, I have released some videos on Virtuosa and the lore that has been coming out in For Honor. And I've gotten some very supportive, but also very critical comments on the matter, and I want to clear the air about something real quick, because I didn't say this in either video, and I want to make sure that it is clear. I do not hate, nor do I have any animosity towards the developer team or the narrative team at For Honor. I do not hate For Honor. I'm not putting up For Honor. I'm still going to play it vehemently because I still love this game. My issue is only this. I am concerned about the direction of the lore as it appears, but I am willing to be wrong about my interpretation and reading. If it comes out later that, hey, Raven, you were wrong, this is actually what they're doing, or hey, this is something you misunderstood, and here's the evidence for it, I will 100% apologize openly and make a video discussing the goods and bads of what I missed. That said, based on what I saw, I had concerns, and I wanted to voice those concerns because, believe it or not, the lore and narrative of the world of For Honor is something I'm very passionate about. If I wasn't passionate about it, I wouldn't make the videos I do. But again, as I said before, there's a right and a wrong way to do things, and if any of you felt that I was overreacting or being overly angry or passionate or wrathful in my videos, then for that I do apologize. So, with all that out of the way, I'll go ahead and wrap up the video here by saying, I really enjoyed the last 2 months of experimenting. It really opened my eyes to what this channel could do. I apologize for the moments where it was a stressful, frustrating procedure, but you know what? We came through it out the other side. We are now into the month of August. We're getting closer to the fall months after we get through this one, and we'll get to see some awesome stuff, not only in For Honor, but for the channel as a whole. Thank you all so much for following. Look forward to more stuff in the future, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.